Well, sir, it's early evening as we enter the small house halfway up in the next block now. And here in the living room we find Mr. Rush Gook all by himself. The young man is at the telephone, chatting with his close friend, Bluetooth Johnson. Listen.
Gee, Bluetooth, I'd like to, but I guess I hadn't better. No, I got a whole slew of algebra problems to work. Yeah. They don't look like they're going to be very hard, but there's 8 or 9 of them. Uh-huh. Who all's going to the YMCA? Oh? How about Vernon Pagels? Uh-huh. Well, he's in the same algebra class I am, so most likely he's home working problems, too. Yeah.
In the living room, Sadie?
Just a second, Bluetooth. Hi.
Hello, Rush.
Come on in.
Fine.
Uncle Fletcher, Bluetooth. Yeah. Well, have a good time watching the fat men play handball, fella. Sorry I can't go along. You bet. Okay, see you tomorrow, Bluetooth. Bye.
Evening, Rush.
Evening, Uncle Fletcher.
Talking to somebody on the telephone, I expect.
Just finished.
Uh-huh. Your mother upstairs?
No, her and Gub went over to Mr. and Miss Stembottom's to play cards.
Is that a fact?
Yeah. Sit down.
Brave will. Over playing cards at Ted Stembottom's, huh? What'd you know about that?
They only left about 10 minutes ago.
Fine. You're a good boy, Rush.
Thanks.
Busy doing something, are you?
Working algebra problem.
Oh?
It's a darn nuisance.
I'll help you.
No.
I'll help you, by George. It ain't against the rules to let a grown-up man give you a hand, is it?
No, but I wouldn't think of troubling you.
Just a second while I pull up a chair.
Okay.
What's the first example?
You mean what's the first problem?
About the farmer and a keg of nails, likely.
Farmer and a keg of nails.
Farmer had a keg of nails, and each nail weighed an ounce and a half, and a keg full of nails weighed 97 pounds. How many nails was in the keg? I worked out that example 40 times. Used to have the answer right in my head without doing any cipher. Got extra pencil?
Yeah, there you are. Uncle Fletcher, this isn't arithmetic, it's algebra.
Uh-huh. I'll have the answer for you in a half-wit trice. There's 16 ounces to a pound, see? And all you have to do is cipher out how many ounces in 97 pounds, and then divide that by 1.5. Plunge into fractions, but that don't hurt. How about I sharpen this pencil? That's a rule in anything you undertake to do, Rush. Provide yourself with good tools.
Uh-huh.
My Uncle Curtis told me that one time, and I've never forgot it. Want to accomplish something, he said, and accomplish it right, provide yourself with good tools.
Oh.
I wouldn't undertake to solve examples in arithmetic with an old dull lead pencil like this.
It's algebra, Uncle Fletcher, not arithmetic.
Oh.
It's like arithmetic, pretty much. You work with figures and all. Where the difference comes in, you have to...
Oh, fine. Your first example there don't deal with the farmer and his keg of nails, huh?
No.
Probably come along on the next page. I bet I've ciphered out that example 40 times.
Uh-huh. Oh, here's the first problem.
Go ahead.
A bottle and a cork together cost 5 cents. If the price of the cork is 1/16 the price of the...
Teacher won't flog you, will she? Letting a grown-up fella give you a hand?
No, I don't think so.
If she flogs you, put the blame on me.
Okay.
Vic and Sade playing cards over at Ted Stembottom's, huh?
Yeah.
How is old Ted?
Name is Fred.
Yeah, enjoy his cards.
Uh-huh. Shall I read this first problem?
There. Well, then, pencil sharpened. I'm ready for action.
Huh?
Fellow wants to accomplish a thing. He wants to provide himself with decent tools.
Yeah.
My Uncle Curtis told me that one time, and I've never forgot it. All right, shoot. What's first example?
A bottle and a cork together cost 5 cents. If the price of the cork...
Hold on, I got this lead pencil too sharp.
Hmm.
Notice the point on there?
Yeah.
Too doggone sharp. Break off the minute I started to write. I'll bevel her off.
Okay.
No, when I was a boy your size, ciphering out arithmetic examples at home, I run the chance of teacher flogging me if I let grown-up people give me a hand.
Well, I guess I'm safe enough. Anyway, I really don't need any help. These problems ain't very hard.
There we are.
Uh-huh.
All beveled off and ready to go.
Uh-huh.
There's 16 ounces in a pound, Rush. There's your starter. Now, how many pounds did the keg weigh?
It hasn't got anything to do with any keg, Uncle Fletcher.
No?
It's about a bottle and a cork.
Oh?
I'll read it to you.
Likely the example where the farmer's got a keg of nails comes on the next page.
Yeah.
All right. Read her out loud.
A bottle and a cork together cost 5 cents. If the price of the cork is 1/16 the price of the bottle.
Uh-huh. Here's how you go about working that out.
I haven't finished it yet.
Fine. First, I'll put it in easier language so you can understand it. You're a little boy, and you got yourself a bottle with a cork in it. Here's what you do. You say to yourself, this bottle and cork cost me 5 pennies. 5 pennies makes a nickel. Follow me, do you?
Yeah.
All right. They want to know how much money you spend when you buy just the cork, right?
Right.
Fine. Well, your farmer's got a bottle with a cork in it that costs 5 cents.
Uncle Fletcher, this has got nothing to do with any farmer. It's not arithmetic, it's algebra.
Algebra, huh?
Yes.
Algebra's first cousin to arithmetic.
I expect it is, but the way you go about solving algebra problems is to let x equal the unknown quantity and form an equation.
I broke my half-wit lead pencil again. See?
Yeah.
Got to twist it around the palm of my hand like a lame braid and she busted off clean as a whistle. I'll sharpen her up and bevel her off.
Okay.
Nothing to cry about.
No.
I'll sharpen her up and bevel her off.
Oh.
How'd them figures read again?
A bottle and a cork together cost 5 cents. If the price of the cork is 1/16 the price of the bottle, what does each object cost separately?
Fine.
It's an easy enough problem.
Oh, thunder, yes.
You let x represent the price of the bottle. You let 1/16 x represent the price of the cork.
I wouldn't.
Well, sure.
I wouldn't.
Well, I suppose there's other ways of doing it, but this is the way we got orders to do it.
Uh-uh.
Well, sure. You let x represent the price of the bottle. You let 1/16 x represent the price of the cork. Then you form your equation. You know that the bottle and the cork together cost a nickel, so you write down x plus 1/16 x equals 5 cents. Then you go ahead.
Oh, Rush.
Well, sure.
Look, hey, your farmer's got this cork.
Well, they don't even mention any farmer in the problem.
They mentioned farmer in my arithmetic book when I was a boy in school studying that example.
Did they?
Yes, sir. And here's how us lads went to work and ciphered her out. In the first place, any dimwit knows that if a bottle and a cork cost...
Telephone's ringing.
Yes.
I'll get it.
Go ahead. Wouldn't be anybody wanting me. Oh, there's 1 chance in 8 million. It's my landlady.
No.
Don't bank on that.
Hello? Oh, yes, Rooster. Rooster Davis.
Oh?
How are you, fella?
Rooster's a good boy.
That's good. Oh, fine as silk, thanks. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, Rooster, I understand they are. Both Leland Richards and Bluetooth Johnson called up and asked me to go. Uh-huh. Yeah. No, I can't. Got a big algebra assignment for tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, too. Well, have a good time, fella. You bet. Okay, fella. So long.
What's eating old Rooster?
Oh, nothing much.
He's holding ciphering out arithmetic examples, too, likely.
No, he's on his way downtown to watch the fat men play handball at the YMCA.
Fine. Rooster will make the grade. He'll get there. Good boy, Rooster.
Yeah.
Rooster reminds me a good deal of a lad I used to know there in Dixon, Sam Henfobble. They called him Cunningham for short.
Cunningham short for Sam?
Yes, Cunningham Henfobble. Married a woman 18 years old.
How old was he?
21.
Oh.
Cunningham Henfobble visited every state in the Union before he was 30.
Really?
Visited every state in the Union before he was 30.
Huh.
Took his wife with him, by George.
Oh.
They went to Kentucky and to Tennessee and New York and all them states.
Huh.
South Dakota,
Huh.
Missouri, California, Arkansas, Ohio,
Huh.
all them states.
Huh.
South Carolina,
Huh.
North Carolina,
Huh.
Texas, Wyoming, New Hampshire, all them states. Minnesota,
Alabama, I expect.
Alabama, Vermont, Michigan.
Florida?
Sure, Florida.
Colorado?
Colorado, West Virginia, Maryland, Oklahoma.
Mississippi?
All them states. Massachusetts.
Delaware?
All them states.
Pennsylvania?
You bet, Pennsylvania.
Huh.
Sam Henfobble. They called him Cunningham for short. Married a woman 18 years old. Visited every state in the Union before he was 30.
Kansas?
Yes, Kansas, Nebraska, Maine, New Jersey.
Arizona.
All them states.
Well, hey, I better get at this algebra.
When Sam Henfather was a boy Rooster Davis's age, he looked enough like Rooster Davis to be his brother.
Huh.
Back to business, by George. Freshen me up on them figures again, Rush. The half-wit farmer had a cork, huh?
Yeah.
Read her off.
A bottle and a cork together cost 5 cents. If the price of the cork is 1/16 the price of the bottle, what does each object
Hold on.
What's the matter?
I broke the half-wit point on my lame-brained lead pencil again.
Did you?
See? Can't get no place with a busted lead pencil, hey, Rush?
No.
Can't work no arithmetic examples that way. I'll sharpen her up and double her off. I'll sharpen her up and double her off.
Which concludes another brief interlude at the small house halfway up in the next block. Well, sir, Mr. Victor Gook and his son, Mr. Rush Gook, have just this moment arrived home from the office and Tatman's vacant lot, respectively, as we join them in the living room of the small house halfway up in the next block now. The gentlemen are removing their coats and contemplating Sade, who is holding forth with considerable heat. Listen.
I didn't like it one little teeny tiny bit.
Tell him so?
No, I never. You appreciate how I am around Fred Stembottom. Tongue-tied. He makes me so mad I could holler, but I'm tongue-tied. I guess I've learned to realize talking back at him isn't any good. He's so stubborn and bull-headed about stuff.
If he bullied you, if he was abusive, I'll drop over to his residence and pace him up so hard upside the snoot.
Of course he wasn't abusive. Just the opposite. He was all axle grease and peach butter. But the nerve of the man.
Here, Joe, take my overcoat, too.
Okay.
And hang it on the hook by the doof on the collar. Don't just throw it at the hall tree like you did the other day.
Okay.
Tell Papa all about nasty old Fred Stembottom.
Well, he telephoned about half an hour ago.
Monster. I'll thrash him within an inch of his life. I'll chasten and subdue him. I'll teach him that he cannot telephone my
May
wife.
I talk, please?
Sure.
Save your funny jokes and comical talky-talk till I get through.
By George, I'll do it.
Bluetooth Johnson attempt to get in touch with me, Mom?
No.
I'm astonished. Bluetooth looked me right in the eye and said he was going to make a special effort to get in touch with me around this time of the afternoon.
Bluetooth never attempted to get in touch with you. Nobody attempted to get in touch with you. Now, will you please give me a chance to tell Gov something?
Certainly.
Fred dictated to me what I'm to buy him and Ruthie for Christmas.
Oh?
How you like that for nerve?
Outrageous. Fred Stembottom is a beast in human form. Why, I quiver with indignation. Sadie, I'm a meek man. I don't go looking for trouble. But I'm a coiled-up rattlesnake, an open powder keg, and a stick of dynamite all at one and the same time.
You refuse to let me tell.
Tell.
May I, please?
Yeah.
Fred said over the phone like this, he says. Sadie, I expect you've been wearing your brains down to a nubbin wondering what to get Ruthie and I for Christmas. Isn't that right? Ha, ha, ha. Isn't that right? Ha, ha, ha. You know how he does.
Heavy-handed in the humorous department, eh?
I didn't say much. Just waited for him to reveal what he had up his sleeve.
Uh-huh.
We're to buy him an automobile tire for Christmas.
Say, that reminds me.
Yes?
Nothing.
We're to buy him an automobile tire for Christmas.
Hey.
Not only that, but we're to give him the money for the automobile tire, and he's going to buy the automobile tire.
Fred is egregious.
Is what?
Oh, some big word or other.
I'll say he's some big word or other. All this behind Ruthie's back. She don't know he called. This is his own stunt. And Ruthie loves Christmas so. Loves the fun and surprises and tinsel and gay little nonsense and all this and that a person has at Christmas time. Fred would cheat her out of all that.
Mom, may I call Vernon Peggles on the telephone?
No. Yeah, Fred would cheat her out of that, clean as a whistle.
What is Fred's basic idea?
Well, he went ahead to explain the ins and outs, all slippery and smooth. He said like this, he said, we've decided to cut out the trinkets and knickknacks and junk this year, Sadie, he said. We've decided to put Christmas presents on a sensible foundation. We want to receive things we can use. Ruthie and I have talked it over, and what we can use most of all is automobile tires. I'm giving Ruthie an automobile tire for Christmas, and she's giving me an automobile tire for Christmas.
For Pete's sake.
Ruthie and I talked it over. I bet Ruthie and I talked it over. That's Fred and all Fred and nobody else but Fred. Then he went along to say, you and Vic give us a dandy present every year and probably intend to again this year. Probably you've been wearing your brains down to an oven trying to think of something appropriate. Well, I thought it'd help you out. Ha, ha, ha. Thought it'd help you out.
Fred is heavy-handed in the humorous department.
Yes. Well, here's the long and short of it. He wants to have 5 tires, 4 and a spare. All right. He's given Ruthie 1. She's given him 1. There's 2. Down at the foundry, all employees receive a nice Christmas gift. Fred's put a bug in the boss's ear. He'd like an automobile tire. There's 3. He's also put a bug in his brother in Oklahoma's ear. 4.
And we're number 5.
We're number 5.
Ruthie's ignorant of all this?
I'd bet the last penny I had in the world on it.
You people probably don't know this, and I'll tip you off in advance. It's fascinating information. Smelly Clark's
I
Uncle
asked Fred, and he beat around the bush. Fred, I said, does Ruthie know you're telephoning me? He changed the subject. Make you send your undershirt to Detroit, Michigan, parcel post?
Of course it would solve the problem.
Solve what problem?
Well, every year you chew and choke and shudder over what to get the stem bottoms for Christmas. A couple of times you ended up with sick headaches. Here's an easy out.
Oh, easy out.
Well, I'd call it an easy out.
Easy out that's airtight, waterlogged, and foolproof.
Sure. They need automobile tires, and they want automobile tires. This afternoon, Fred even went so far as to demand automobile tires. Well, let's buy Ruthie a half-weight automobile tire, and the heck with it. She'd be surprised and delighted.
Yes, she'd be surprised and delighted. Oh, and another thing. Fred said like this. He said, in the past, you girls have been made miserable and sick because one family gives a present that costs more than the other's family's present. It's been a matter of jockeying back and forth, trying to pry information from each other about how much money we plan on spending. And this way, it's all cut and dry. You tell me how much you pay for the automobile tire, and Ruthie and I, knowing to the penny what you spent, can go ahead and duplicate that sum, buying whatever we select for you.
At least that's common sense.
Oh, common sense. Vic, I'd be ashamed.
What is the truth? Every year you worry and fret for weeks about how much the stem bottoms are going to spend on you. Will they buy something that costs $5? Will they buy something that costs $10? Oh, my stars, what if they bought something that cost $20?
Oh, I never said any such a crazy thing.
Every Christmas of your life.
I never said any such a crazy thing.
How about it, Marie?
Well, sir, I'm glad you asked that question. Here's the answer. I can very definitely recall...
Oh, bosh.
Okay.
What do tires cost, by the way?
Gosh, I haven't the slightest idea.
You know, Rush?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. Down in the junkyard, you can pick up a good second-hand tire.
I'm not talking about second-hand tires.
Talking about new tires?
Of course.
Brand new tires, huh?
Yes.
Well, sir, now that depends. Tires vary in price.
I suppose they did, foolish.
Vary anywhere from $2 to $150.
That's not right, is it?
I'm frankly skeptical.
Automobile tires will vary anywhere from $2 to $150.
A piece?
Certainly.
$2 tire must be rather a shabby tire. A $150 tire must be something pretty special.
Naturally.
If I were you, George, I'd carefully write down all my knowledge of automobile tires on a piece of clean white paper, and then take my piece of clean white paper and throw it in the garbage bucket.
Okay.
Maybe $10, $15, $20?
I imagine.
Oh, and Fred made a big to-do about how happy Ruthie'd be.
Oh, we're getting a tire for Christmas?
Yes. He said like this. He said, having 5 tires for the car, 4 and a spare, has been a dream of Ruthie's and mine for a long, long time. It's gotten to be almost a craving with Ruthie. Ruthie hates that automobile. Darn thing must be 20 years old anyway. She don't like being around it or sitting in it or riding in it or taking people out in it or anything else. She's told me that. She's afraid of the way Fred drives and wishes they never even owned a car. And it nickels and dimes them to death. A quarter for this gadget, 15 cents for that gadget. The oil's got to be changed. The handle on the door has to be fixed. We need new spark plugs. It's gotten to be almost a craving with Ruth. Oh, and Fred said other stuff. A mist comes over Ruthie's eyes when she thinks of owning 4 tires and a spare, Sadie. The thought of such a thing is so beautiful it makes her cry.
Fred waxes poetic.
Oh, Fred is a nitwit. He ought to know me better than to think I'd be taken in by any such silliness as that. But I'm tongue-tied. I can't talk back at him.
Mom, I've been wondering if you'd let me...
I'm tongue-tied. I stand there and let him tell me crazy junk.
Mom, I've been wondering if
What?
I say I've been wondering if
You have
you'd
to go to the grocery store.
Okay.
Several items we need.
Okay. May I telephone Vernon Peggles?
No.
Seems very strange to me
Possible.
that...
They may call up want to play 500 tonight.
Is it?
Yes, and if we get together, this business has to be strictly avoided.
Okay.
Fred will probably wink and grin and make signs, but don't you let on even a little bit.
Okay.
Poor Ruthie. Gets the dirty end of the stick. He'd cheat her out of the fun and surprise and stuff that goes along with Christmas. Sure.
I suppose I can at least take advantage of
What?
I say I suppose I can at least take
Have to have
advantage...
salt and matches.
Beg pardon?
Have to have salt and matches from the grocery store. Ruthie loves the Christmassy part of Christmas. The tree and the ornaments and the gewgaws and knickknacks and the tissue paper bells and tinsel and trinkets. But she looks forward like a little girl to what her husband surprises her with. She looks forward like a little girl to what the foundry surprises her with. She looks forward like a little girl to what Fred's brother in Oklahoma surprised her with. And the same thing with us. She's excited and happy anticipating. All right. Her husband gives her an automobile tire. The foundry gives her an automobile tire. Fred's brother in Oklahoma gives her an automobile tire. And what sweet little gift does she get from us?
Automobile tire.
Yes, an automobile tire. Darn Fred.
Which concludes another brief interlude at the small house halfway up in the night. Well, sir, by Virginia Avenue standards, it's quite late in the evening as we enter the small house halfway up in the next block now. The courthouse clock struck 10:30 a minute or two ago. Mrs. Victor Gook and her son, Mr. Rush Gook, are in the living room, occupied with sewing and reading, respectively. And at length, the former remarks,
Lodge meeting's dragging out a good long time tonight.
Yes.
It's getting on for 11 o'clock.
I wouldn't be surprised if what lodge meeting's finished and the fellas stroll over to the Greeks to drink coffee and talk. They get discussing stuff and lose track of the minutes.
Well, this lady's going up to her little bed directly.
Heard myself. You like to hear how Third Lieutenant Stanley outwits a gang of counterfeit and second-hand coat and pants dealers?
No, I don't guess so, Willie. Thanks.
Very exciting. Third Lieutenant Stanley and Lady Margaret are crossing the Sahara Desert, and these
Here's
counterfeit...
your father.
Oh.
Burglars?
Yeah.
Might as well lock up while you're there.
Okay. Milk bottle out?
Yes. Somebody better close the dining room windows. Paper states rain tonight.
I'll do it.
Don't forget.
Remind me before I go upstairs.
You remind your own self. It's your job.
By George, Third Lieutenant Clinton Stanley goes to work and outwits these
Where's
counterfeit...
my loving wife and beautiful baby boy?
What?
Where is my loving wife and beautiful baby boy?
We're sitting here with our teeth in our mouth. Big, long lodge meeting,
No, not particularly.
It don't generally last till 10:30, does it?
Lodge meeting tonight was shorter than usual. We broke up at 5 minutes till 9.
Where you been since then?
Sitting in the lobby of the Butter House Hotel, holding hands with a bewitching Spanish lady who loves me to distraction.
That's nice.
Hello, Rush.
Oh, you're kind of late saying hello.
I've been so busy, I just never get around to it before.
Okay. You want to hear about how Third Lieutenant Stanley outwits...
I should say I don't.
Suit you, suit me, Mr. Spooner.
No, kiddo, but I have been sitting in the lobby of the Butter House Hotel,
Yeah?
giving Alf Musherton a lesson in lodge procedure. He's a candidate for initiation, you know, needs special tutoring. I put in almost an hour and a half working with him.
What do you get for your trouble?
Well, as the Exalted Big Dipper and all, coaching neophytes is more or less in my line of duty. It's a labor of love. And I'm glad to do it. But in Alf Musherton's case, something of a situation has arisen in the matter of rewarding me for my time and effort.
Oh?
Alf is deeply grateful for the attention I've given him and wants to make it up to me. Alf, as you know, plays cornet in the sewage disposal.
By George, Third Lieutenant Stanley and Lady Margaret go to
We're
work...
talking, Rush.
Oh, beg pardon.
Alf, as I know, what?
Plays cornet in a sewage disposal worker's band.
Yeah.
Well, He insists on teaching me to play the cornet.
No.
He insists on it.
You wouldn't, would you?
Oh, of course not.
Cornet beginners are as bad as violin beginners when it comes to the horrible noise they make practicing around the house.
Yeah, but this situation exists, and it threatens to be an embarrassing one. Alf Musherton is determined.
Determined to teach you to play the cornet?
Determined to pay me back in some measure for my time and trouble. Why, Sade, in the lobby of the Butler House Hotel a little while ago, tears come to his eyes.
Really?
Yes, sir, by golly. Gook, he says, you've spent 19 or 20 hours in the last few weeks tutoring me in lodge procedure. I want to show my gratitude. I've thought about it, and only can reach one conclusion. Give you free lessons on the cornet.
Yeah?
I got no money to buy you a nice present, Gook, he says. I barely get along on what I make barbering, but I can play cornet. I'd like to give you 20 lessons and not charge you a cent.
You told him no.
I told him I appreciated his offer and was deeply touched. But I said the idea of me becoming a cornetist was completely out of the question.
Well, I should think so.
Bean Blossom, old billiard cue.
Say, this doggone Third Lieutenant Stanley goes to
Shelf
work.
Third Lieutenant Stanley for the moment. How'd you like to learn to play pieces on the cornet?
Cornet?
No.
Have you been following our conversation?
No. I've been reading about how Third Lieutenant Stanley and Lady
Relegate Third Lieutenant Stanley and Lady Margaret to limbo.
Limbo?
Sade, Alf means business. All right, he says. If you don't want to take lessons, produce somebody that does. I'll teach your little boy to play the cornet. I'll teach your wife, your father, your mother, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, or your friend. Anybody that's near and dear to you.
He sounds a little addled in the noodle.
He's not addled in the noodle. He's a warm-hearted, generous fella. He feels very strongly his obligations to me and is bent on paying them back. How about it, Pole Vault? Be interested in learning the cornet?
Not in the least.
The cornetist is popular at parties. The cornetist enchants the pretty girls.
I'm already popular at parties.
Do you also enchant the pretty girls?
I expect I enchant some of them. I probably enchant as many as the next half-wit. No, Gov, if I was going to learn to yip on a horn, I'd learn to yip on a big horn. I like low notes when it comes to noise. No more low notes on a cornet than there is on a horse.
He's not musical, Vic. You know that. Let's not get started on any wild ideas.
I must dig up a pupil for old Alf Musherton.
Oh, why must you?
Because Alf is resolved to do something nice for me.
Suppose our garbage man, Mr. Gumpox, was interested in playing the cornet. Would your Alf Musherton give him free lessons?
Gladly.
He'd be doing you a favor, huh? Teaching your garbage man to play on the horn.
Yes.
Ish.
I know somebody might possibly be interested, Gov.
Who's that?
Smelly Clark's Uncle Strap.
I am not interested in Smelly Clark's Uncle Strap.
Well, you acted like you wanted to get...
How about Uncle Fletcher, say?
Uncle Fletcher?
Yeah.
Teach him to yip on a cornet?
Why not?
Oh.
Well, he's got lots of spare time. Might give him a new interest, a new hobby.
I doubt if Uncle Fletcher's got the wind for it, Gov.
Don't require much wind.
No? Allow me to differ. Leland Richards' father used to play the cornet when they lived in Jackson, Michigan, and the band he was in gave a concert one evening, and when it was over, he found out he lost 15 pounds. Also, his eyes boggled way out of his head, and his hands trembled so he couldn't lift a glass of milk up to his mouth.
He must have blew awful hard.
He warped his half-wit cornet, he blew so hard.
Yeah?
Tubes were twisted around something fierce. Had to take it to the plumber next morning to hammer it back in shape.
Sounds like one of Uncle Fletcher's stories.
Yes, it does.
You mentioned the garbage man a minute ago. Do you imagine he would be interested?
No.
I have to rake up somebody.
Why?
Because I said I would. I promised.
You promised Alf Musherton you'd find somebody for him to give lessons on the cornet to?
Yes.
Oh, goodness. Grown-up men.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
Ish.
Tears brimmed his eyes, kiddo.
He cries easy.
He don't any such a thing cry easy. He was deeply, deeply grateful for the time and effort that I've expended on him.
Well, believe I'll go to bed.
Gov, how about Miss Harris's room or Mr. Sludge?
How about Miss Harris's room and Mr. Sludge, Rush, my boy?
He might possibly be interested.
Yes.
You talking about crying made me think of it. He does considerable sobbing and weeping.
Well?
If Mr. Sludge does a lot of crying and Alf Musherton does a lot of crying, they'd most likely get along peachy. They could sit and yip on their cornet a while and take time out to sit and cry a while and then yip on their cornet some more and sob and snuffle some more.
Very, very funny.
Well, shucks.
Very, very, very funny. I believe I have the solution to my problem.
Oh?
Yeah, I believe I have the solution to my problem.
What is it?
Hire Hank Gutstop.
Hank Gutstop, learn to play on the cornet.
Go ahead and hold your sides with helpless laughter. Pray excuse me, as I am tired and wish to go to bed.
What's tell about Hank?
Oh, it's too humorous. Your extreme mirth might injure your nervous system and leave you permanent weakness. Rush, do you happen to know the telephone number of the Lazy Hours Pool Hall?
Yeah.
What is it?
8764J.
Thanks.
Going to get in touch with Hank tonight?
Might as well. Ask him to drop around by the office in the morning.
It's terrible late, ain't it?
Not 11 yet. Lazy Hours Pool Hall don't close till 12. That number again, Charlie?
8764J.
You said hire Hank. Give him a lot of money?
Very little money. Here was my thought, if you think you can listen to it without having hysterics.
Go ahead.
I'll offer to pay Hank 25 cents for every cornet lesson Alf Musherton gives him.
Oh, gee, that's a roundabout way of doing stuff.
Perhaps so, but it is a solution to my present problem. Hank Gutstop will get paid 1/4 and be given 1 lesson. I know him well enough to be absolutely certain that he won't take a second lesson. He'd have neither the patience nor the inclination.
That's true.
Alf Musherton will feel free of his obligation. He'll have done his part, and everybody will be happy.
You'll be out 25 cents.
Be cheap at triple the price. That telephone once again, Inner Soul?
8764J.
I thank you.
8764J, please.
Correct.
Awful late to be calling.
I apprehend he'll be there. It is his habit, I understand, to linger till they close.
No. Don't forget about them dining room windows. Paper states rain tonight.
Okay.
Oh, hello. Say, Hank Gutstop hanging around down there. Will you, please? Thanks. Playing bottle pool with some of the guys.
He don't realize he's going to be a musician.
No.
Case of the tail wagging the dog. Instead of paying 25 cents for cornet lessons, he gets paid 25 cents for cornet lessons.
Stuff happens, don't it?
Sure does.
Stuff happens.
Hello, Hank? Vic Gook, Hank.
Which concludes another brief interlude at the small house halfway up in the next block.
And now, get ready to smile again with radio's home folks, Vic and Sade, written by Paul Reimer.
Well, sir, it's late afternoon as we enter the small house halfway up in the next block now. And here in the kitchen we find Mr. Victor Gook and his wife's amiable Uncle Fletcher Rush, late of Dixon, Illinois. Uncle Fletcher is holding forth at the moment, and we hear him say,
This fellow, Art Gummers, invented a fish stretcher. Idea was you go fishing and then bring your catch around to Art's place, and he'd stretch your fish for you on this contraption of his, and they'd look bigger when you showed them off to your friends. Art figured he'd make in the neighborhood of $40,000 on that invention. By George, he never realized the dime. Trouble was, people refused.
Who's that?
Huh?
Somebody's coming in the front door.
You nervous, Vic?
No. You say?
Act jumpy as a cat.
Hi.
It's only Rush.
Rush, huh?
Yeah.
Fine. Hi, Rush!
Oh, Uncle Fletcher.
No, this Art Gummers never realized a dime on his fish stretcher. Bought a horse and buggy on tick on the strength of it, got married on the strength of it, and sent his brother to barber college on the strength of it, and never realized a dime.
Is that it? Where's your money?
Downtown shopping, I guess. Believe she mentioned a wash rag sale at Hamilton's this noon. How are you, Uncle Fletcher?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
You're a good boy, Rush.
Thanks. I've been down at the YMCA ever since school let out.
Fat men playing handball?
No, there's a celebration on. This week is the 120th anniversary of the birth of Sir George Williams, the founder of the YMCA.
Oh?
Me and most of my friends spend so much time at the YMCA, we feel like we got a right to take part in the celebration.
What's this, Rush?
They're talking about the YMCA.
Oh,
It was started by Sir George Williams 120 years ago this week.
why?
Horse blanket, old heel plate.
Yeah.
Step to the pantry and bring out the 2 articles you'll see on the bottom shelf but one.
Apples?
No. Hop along. And when you return, I'd like to engage you in conversation.
Speaking of Art Gummers and his fish stretcher invention, likely you remember Art's brother.
No, can't say I do.
Sycamore fella.
No,
Married into the Geezer family?
no.
Alarm clocks, huh?
Bring him here.
2 of them.
Yeah, bring him here.
That was a funny thing.
New alarm clocks, huh, Gov?
Yeah.
Where'd they come from?
I bought him...
Art's brother's name was Raleigh, I believe.
How'd you happen to buy 2 new alarm clocks? These alarm clocks presents for somebody, Gov?
No. Sit down.
Okay.
Art and Raleigh Gummer also had a sister.
That's so? Your chair comfortable, Rush?
Yeah.
That's good.
Hey, what's the idea?
You don't mind having a pleasant little chat with your father, do you?
No.
Just relax and take it easy.
Art and Raleigh Gummer's sister's name was Florence.
Excuse me, Uncle Fletcher. I got a little something I want to say to Stovepoker here before his mother gets home.
Fine.
Have I done something, Gov?
You've done nothing reprehensible, I assure you. On the contrary, your recent conduct has been most laudable. Keep up the good work.
Uh-huh.
Your chair is comfortable?
My chair is fine. Hey, what's the idea?
No idea in particular. I fixed for spending money.
Spending money?
Do you have sufficient cash for your current needs?
Fly on the ceiling, by George.
I got 11 cents.
That is a modest sum.
Yeah,
A very modest sum.
yeah.
Fly on the ceiling, Vic.
Probably you could find good use for additional money.
Hey, get to the point.
What point? Do you object to this little quiet conversation? Relax. Sit back. Take it easy. You're sure that chair is comfortable?
Oh, shucks.
Vic,
Yes, Uncle Fletcher.
half-wit fly on the ceiling.
Oh, He'll perish with winter so near.
J.H. Masters there in Union Grove, Illinois, swatted so many flies one
Excuse
afternoon.
me, Uncle Fletcher, but I got a thing or two to say to Annabelle here.
Fine.
Yes, Rush, I understand you've been a real good boy lately.
I imagine so.
Good. Good. Oh, by the by, I did a little shopping a while ago.
Bought these alarm clocks?
Yes,
They look like nice ones.
especially nice ones. Far superior to the ones we had before.
Before.
Yes,
We still got 'em, haven't we?
I fear not.
Sure, we still got 'em. One of 'em's up in my room.
No, Rush. They've vanished.
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 Both of 'em?
Both of them.
Where'd they vanish to?
They just vanished is all.
A half-wit fly ain't got any more idea where he's going than a rabbit. Walked along the ceiling a while, flew over to the gas stove, flew over to the sink, strolled along on the floor. Now he's back on the ceiling again. He's got no idea where he's going. Shucks.
Egg yolk, old currycomb. I bought these 2 alarm clocks for a special reason.
Yes, and you offered me money and asked me if my chair was comfortable for a reason, too.
I suppose I might as well be frank.
You say our old alarm clocks have vanished?
Vanished.
Uh-huh.
Why do you say uh-huh in such a knowing way?
I think I know what happened.
What happened?
You tried to fix our alarm clocks and busted them.
Not so fast now. Let me explain first that
Almost got the lame brain that trip, by George. Flies are pretty smart customers getting out the way.
Yeah.
Didn't I hit the nail on the head? Didn't you get to monkeying with our alarm clocks and bust them?
I guess there's no point in beating around the bush. You're surmise.
Want me to surmise some more? Lay off our alarm clocks because you've already busted about 40 of them. You're scared to tell her that 2 additional alarm clocks have been ruined.
I may as well admit it.
Well, where do I come in?
I thought the 2 of us might get together here.
Why, you son of a gun, you. He got away.
How do you mean the 2 of us might get together?
Well, as you point out, your mother's apt to be somewhat upset about the missing alarm clock.
Upset? She'll pull her shoes up by the roots.
I'm afraid so.
Where are the alarm clocks, by the way?
Out in the garbage box. No, George, here was my notion.
I'm the guilty party.
Exactly.
No, this old coot in Union Grove, Illinois used to swat flies every afternoon.
You have an alarm clock record that's absolutely spotless. You never broke an alarm clock in your life. I, on the other hand, have been most unfortunate.
What do you try to fix alarm clocks for? You always bust them.
That is beside the point.
No, but Chuck...
How about it? Will you shoulder the blame?
Well, I don't know.
You wouldn't lose by your kindness?
I'd get a bribe, huh?
Bribe isn't the happiest of words. Let us put it like this. Let us simply state that...
Got him. Look, got him.
Uh-huh.
I figured I'd get him.
We couldn't get away with it, Gov.
Why not?
I never interfere with alarm clocks, and you can't leave alarm clocks alone. Here's 2 of them busted. Mine won't be taken in with any such flimsy business as that.
We must handle it clever.
Mom's a clever customer her own self.
Who's this, Rush?
Mom, I say she's a clever customer.
Aye.
We'll cook up a plausible story.
Okay.
Does a plausible story suggest itself to you?
Little Charlie Husher was here this afternoon. He got to running around wild the way he does. He bumped into the...
That's too easily checked up on.
Yes, I guess it is.
Now, this might fill the bill.
Oh?
After school, you raced in the house like a tornado. You were in a hurry to get something out of your dresser. In your haste, you crashed against the dresser upon which were resting both of our alarm clocks. They fell to the floor and shattered into bits. You become frightened. You wondered what to do. I walked in at that moment, and you made a clean breast of the whole matter. I'm an understanding father. I realize it was an accident. I give you money, and you step to the drugstore and buy these fine new alarm clocks.
Yeah.
Sound all right?
Mom will certainly give you some searching glances.
May heaven give me strength to stand up under him.
Well, I guess maybe the story will hold water.
Leave, I'll go home directly.
See, the alarm clocks got broke accidentally. Nobody busted them trying to fix them.
Uh-huh.
Submit your report to your mother, and I'll back you up.
Okay.
A little later on, I'll discuss financial matters with you.
Oh, that's okay. I'm glad to help a fellow out.
Nevertheless, you're entitled to some small token of appreciation.
No fooling Mom would jump and holler if she thought you broke them 2 alarm clocks.
There's not a doubt of it.
Yeah, leave, I'll stroll on home directly.
Oh, don't hurry, Uncle Fletcher.
No, stick around.
Getting along towards supper time.
Gov, how'd you happen to tackle them clocks in the first place?
I noticed them on your dresser there, and I...
Got out your little hammer?
Yes.
Why the heck do you try to fix alarm clocks with a hammer?
I'm quite satisfied with the manner in which I fixed alarm clocks.
Fella needs a screwdriver.
I prefer my little hammer.
Threw the junk in the garbage box, huh?
Yes.
And then walked to the drugstore and bought these?
Yes. Nice ones, huh?
Very nice.
Nice alarm clocks, Uncle Fletcher?
Beg pardon?
Aren't these nice alarm clocks?
Yes, they are.
Streamlined alarm clocks. Fella in at the drugstore told me there's a balance wheel inside that's scientifically the last word.
Yes, sir.
The way it operates, the mechanism is set in some kind of a rubber composition, capable of withstanding shocks, and also with... Well, heck, I'll show you. Rush, hand me my little hammer there on the stove. You'll appreciate this, Uncle Fletcher. You're a mechanical-minded chap.
Aye.
Rush, hand me my little hammer. The drugstore guy said these alarm clocks ought to last a lifetime with proper care.
Aye.
Rush, will you hand me my little hammer, please?
No, Gov.
Huh?
Don't bother him.
Bother.
The alarm clock.
I want to demonstrate to Uncle Fetcher how they're put together.
Yeah, but you know what happens.
Kindly hand me my little hammer.
Please, Gov.
Fine.
Rush.
No, Gov.
Rush.
Oh, Gov.
Hand me my little hammer.
Which concludes another brief interlude at the small house halfway up from the next block. And there we leave Vic and Sade until the next time.
Well, sir, it's late afternoon as our scene opens now. And here in the living room of the small house halfway up in the next block, we find Mrs. Victor Gook and her son, Mr. Rush Gook. The latter has just this moment arrived home from an after-school session of football in Tatman's vacant lot and is standing near the library table contemplating with interest an open shoebox. Listen.
But it says in big letters on the wrapping paper, do not open until Christmas.
I opened it anyway, to see if the easy slippers were too big or too little. I'm just sure Robert and Lorstein will visit us around Christmas time, and naturally they'll expect to see me wearing my easy slippers, and if they didn't fit, it'd be embarrassing.
Oh.
I decided not to take any chances.
But Gov told Lorstein over the long-distance telephone you took size 5.5 easy slippers. I know he said 5.5 for a fact because I was right here and heard him.
Well, either she didn't understand them correct or else sizes run different in Cairo. Easy slippers don't any more fit than a rabbit.
Too little?
Too big.
Well, you gonna send them back?
Gov is.
Gov?
Of course. He and Lorstein cooked up this plot about my Christmas present. I got nothing to do with it. It's their secret. I'm not supposed to know anything about any easy slippers.
You haven't told Gov what he's gonna do, have you?
Well, naturally not. The package only just arrived this afternoon.
He'll scream like a panther.
Why?
Because he hates lady stuff worse than a poison reptile. Makes him sick to his stomach when he gets involved.
I expect he'll survive.
Oh.
All he'll be required to do is mail the package back to Cairo along with a letter explaining there's been a mistake in the size.
He'll scream like a panther.
He's welcome to scream like a panther. Have you examined the easy slippers?
No. Where are they?
Davenport.
Oh.
I think Robert made them himself.
There's a steel chain holding them together just as advertised.
Oh, so they won't ever get separated and lost from each other.
Uh-huh.
Robert's idea. No, and Robert and Lorstein the way I do, I figured I'd better open the box and investigate the easy slippers. They're so careless about stuff. And sure enough, darn easy slippers a mile too large. And like I say, I'm almost positive they'll visit us sometime after Christmas, and it'll be embarrassing for everybody concerned if my easy slippers fell off my feet.
Uh-huh.
Your father can send them back with a little note.
Notice the pictures on the toes?
Yes.
On one toe is a picture of a baby chick hatching out of an egg, and another toe is a picture of an Indian fella smoking the pipe of peace.
Uh-huh.
Is there any connection?
Not that I know of. When Robert's making things in his workshop, he gets odd ideas.
God's home, I think.
Hear him in the kitchen?
Hey, you guys.
Hi, ho.
Howdy, hi.
Greetings, Sadie.
You might as well attend to this right now without delay. Give Robert all the time in the world to make new easy slippers and get 'em back here before Christmas.
Scream like a panther.
What?
Gov will scream like a panther.
Fiddly-whittle.
What you bet?
Fiddly-whittle.
The wind it doth blow, and we shall have snow, and what will poor Robin do then, poor thing?
Getting cold out?
Yes, indeed. Notice how the naughty fingers of Jack Frost have pinched my cheek?
Uh-huh.
Stand by, Rush, old chum, and I'll give you the privilege of taking my hat and coat in the hallway.
You're in jolly spirits.
Who wouldn't be, living in this perfect world? Shall I give you a kiss, Sadie?
Don't bother.
Suit you, suit me, Mr. Spooner. Plenty of other girls. Here you are, razor strap. One gentleman's coat, one gentleman's hat.
Okay.
Ruthie and I halfway planned to go down to Yamelton this afternoon and see what kind of bargains I got in wash rags, but at the last minute she phoned
What's
up.
in the box?
Box? Oh, guess once.
Do not open until Christmas.
Robert and Lorstein's present.
Oh? Easy slippers?
They're there on the Davenport.
Pretty quick service. It was only the week before last I talked to Laura Steen long distance.
Well, don't tell me. I don't know anything about you talking to Laura Steen long distance. Keep your little secrets to yourself, please.
Lady stuff.
No lady stuff. We don't need to beat around the bush this trip. It's all cut and dried.
Lady stuff, Rush.
Most involved lady stuff you ever saw.
All right, mister.
I'm not involved.
Here's the thing of it. Just got through telling Rush. Knowing Robert and Laura Steen the way I do,
I'm not involved in any lady stuff, Sadie.
No, let a person tell.
I simply refuse to be involved in any lady stuff.
Will you let a person tell?
Mm.
The package only just arrived a little while ago. Knowing Robert and Laura Steen the way I do and being familiar with how careless they are about stuff, I decided I'd better open the package and try on the easy slippers to see if they fit.
Mm.
It's collars to walnuts. They'll visit us around Christmas time, and if the easy slippers ain't right in every way, shape, and form, it'll be embarrassing for everybody concerned. Now, isn't that true?
I suppose so.
Well, of course it's true.
You noticed easy slippers, Gov? On the toe of one, there's a picture of a baby chick hatching out of an eggshell, and on the toe of the other, there's a picture of an Indian guy smoking the pipe of peace.
Robert for you. Such queer notions he gets.
This steel chain holding the slippers together looks too short.
It is too short. Much too short. Ought to be 3 times as long. When I tried on the slippers and attempted to walk, I almost fell down. Person has to take little tiny mincing steps to where it'd take a week to get any place. Better mention that in your letter.
In my letter?
A letter's got to be written.
I've already said I refuse to have...
Look, let me talk. This isn't what you call lady stuff, so don't let yourself get excited.
I write no letter.
Will you listen once? Easy slippers are too large. A lot too large. And the chain holding them together's too short. Person can't hardly walk. All right, you've agreed with me that Robert and Laura Steen will most likely put in an appearance sometime around Christmas. You also agreed it would be embarrassing for everybody if the easy slippers were wrong in any way. Well, they are wrong. They're too big, and the chain holding them together's too short. A letter's got to be written.
You don't need to look at me.
The easy slippers have to be mailed back to Carol so Robert can fix new ones, and a letter's got to be written.
You don't need to look at me. I'll die before
Now, what you doing, Rush? Going to try on my easy slippers?
Do you mind?
Get them soiled.
I won't walk around.
Why is there a picture of a baby chick hatching out of a shell there at the toe of one slipper?
I haven't the slightest notion.
Why is there a picture of an Indian guy smoking a pipe of peace on the other easy slipper?
Haven't the slightest notion. Oh, this little letter business won't take you 5 minutes.
By George, they are big.
Well, naturally, I can't write the letter. Because I'm not supposed to know anything about my Christmas present. That's strictly between Laura Steen and you. I'm all in the dark about the wicked plots you scalawags hatch up.
Oh.
Sure.
Look what big easy slippers.
Yes, terrible big.
Such a short chain.
I started to walk to the kitchen and give up when I got to the bookcase. It had taken me till next Easter.
At least.
Here's what I thought you could say, Vic.
Oh.
And please stop the nonsense.
No.
Here's what I thought you could say. Dear Laura Steen, ha 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 ha.
Oh.
Will you cut that out?
Oh.
By George, these are the most uncomfortable half-wit easy slippers I ever come across. I wouldn't any more wear
take them
these.
off and put them back in the box before they get dirty.
Oh.
Dear Laura Steen, ha 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 ha. Well, Laura Steen, the easy slippers arrived in wonderful shape, and Sadie is completely in the dark. We certainly pulled the wool over her eyes.
I am writing this in the basement by lantern light.
I guess I don't require any help on this, Rush.
No, but this is a good idea I got. We certainly pulled the wool over Sadie's eyes, hey, Laura Steen? Well, Laura Steen, Sadie has gone to bed, and I am writing this down cellar in the cold room by lantern light. We don't want to get caught in this wicked plot us scalawags hatched up, hey, Laura Steen? I couldn't keep the guilty look off in my face at the supper table tonight when Sadie asked me to pass the mashed potatoes.
That'll be
And
enough.
I pretended to have a violent fit of coughing. Well, Laura Steen, old fellow conspirator...
I said that'll be enough, Rush.
Okay.
Is that chain on there to hang the easy slippers up by?
No, it's to hold the easy slippers together, so they won't ever get separated and lost from each other.
Oh.
Here's what I thought you could say in your nice little letter.
In my nice little letter?
Yes. Oh, dear Laura Steen. Ha 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 ha. Well, Laura Steen, the easy slippers arrived in wonderful shape, and Sadie is completely in the dark. We certainly pulled the wool over her eyes. The reason I'm writing, Laura Steen, I'm afraid you and Robert made a mistake about the size.
I tried them on Sadie while she was asleep, and they're too big. So I went to...
Will you keep out of this, please?
No, but this is a peach of a stunt. Airtight, waterlogged, and foolproof. I tried the easy slippers on Sadie while she was asleep, and they're too big. So I went to work.
I warned you for the last time, Rush.
Oh.
What's the matter?
Oh,
What?
What?
Why you got your face in your hand? Say in your nice little letter like this. The reason I'm writing Laura Steen, I'm afraid you and Robert made a mistake about the size. I compared your easy slippers with some old ones of Sadie's, and yours are considerable longer and wider. Ha 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 ha.
No.
I am enclosing in the envelope an outline of Sadie's feet, drawn with pen and ink on tablet paper. I expect it will help you a good deal.
I have a suggestion.
Just keep it to yourself. You might as well take your face out of your hands and quit playing the baby and do this little simple thing and have it over with.
Oh.
Land, childishness that crops out in a grown-up man. I'm going out in the kitchen. Get pen and ink and my stylish yellow stationery out of the library table drawer, Rush.
Okay.
And give them to your father.
Okay.
Then you come out in the kitchen, too, because I need things from the grocery store.
Okay.
Oh.
Better snap out of it and get busy, Gov.
No.
I'll fix you up with pen and ink.
Why is there a picture of a baby chick hatching out of an eggshell on the toe of one easy slipper?
Haven't the slightest idea.
Why is there a picture of an Indian guy smoking a pipe of peace on the toe of the other easy slipper?
Haven't the slightest idea.
Oh.
Don't cry, Gov.
Which concludes another brief interlude at the small house halfway up in the next block. But be sure to come along when we drop in on Vic and Sade the next time. This is Ed Hurley speaking.